get you by the goosebumps, goosebumps. Gotta get you by the goosebumps, gotcha. They're gonna get you by the goosebumps, goosebumps. Gotta get you.
Hello and welcome back to Drunken Book Club, an official, unofficial Goosebumps podcast. I'm your dummy on your lap, Christopher the Rupel, joined with...
I swear I'm not copying you, Sam.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Stop copying me. That's why you wanted the Lego minifigure as well.
You said, do you want one as well? We can both get one.
And which book did we read today, Sam?
We read Night of the Living Dummy.
Part 1. Ooh. Get ready for the gaslighting to continue. Yeah, I was not looking forward to this read, because I'll be honest, the last time I read this one was back in I want to say it was 2018, 2019 was the last time I read Night of the Living Dummy. Man, I remember when I read it then, I was just like,
Oh, the vanilla finally kicked in.
Yeah. Oh, you put a shot of vanilla vodka in your orange juice?
Why not?
Yeah, I know. So Sam, what did you pregame? Well, technically, what are you currently nursing?
I have a screwdriver with vanilla vodka in it.
Yeah, and I'm not nursing anything just because I'm a bit on the, I want to be able to stay awake. I have to stay up a little bit longer these next couple days to get my body ready for the next part of my working journey, because I'm a working girl. Hey, baby. Got any cum for me?
Oh, also a fun thing is apparently with the Knuckles TV series, because we were just watching that.
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
Yeah. There's an episode where he watches a Pretty Woman.
Okay.
Speaking of working girl.
Yes, there is.
And he's like, why is it such a crime for her to walk the street?
Beautiful. Yep. So, yeah, we read Night of the Living Dummy, and I was all like, oh shit, we gotta read this by the end of the week, because I'm like, I want to make sure we have a few extra episodes coming up, just because I'm still working weird hours, and we're kind of adjusting, everyone's kind of adjusting right now to my hours, and I feel bad about that, but too bad it's my podcast. No. So I'm like, shoot, we didn't do the Disney movie music like I wanted to this week, so that one might be a little late, so, but whatever, it's whatever. So, I have to talk about my copy. I have 2 copies of Night of the Living Dummy, technically. I have the actual book version, and then I have the Monster Edition number 2, which I bought at a pawn store that's really close by us. Like, I went there, I think a few weeks after it opened, and I was all like, yeah, I'll stop in there for a little bit, look around. And I found, the only thing that was interesting that I found was this Monster Edition number 2, which has Night of the Living Dummy 1, 2, and 3 in it. And honestly, it's I opened it up and Sam's laughing, because it's just a bunch of Lisa Frank stickers.
There's a pumpkin on there too,
just a random HMK CDS, whatever that would be. But yeah, it's just got a bunch of stickers, and there's a lot of random writing in here. There's some crayon right there. Every chapter has a little
kiss stamp.
Little kiss stamp. There's also
done.
Done. Literally, after the first chapter is done. Every chapter after that has a check mark. It stops after a while. I'm just like, oh, kid, did you just give up or what? Yeah, I think by chapter 17 they quit, which I'm like, yeah, 17 is when they stopped putting the check marks, which is kind of funny because that's when one of the big revelations happens.
Maybe they got pissed off.
Yeah, they're just
maybe they're like,
what do you mean? What do you mean this? So yeah, the rest of the book doesn't have too much defacing until you get to the back cover, which has, I believe, their name, which I'm not going to say.
It has it a couple of different places too, by the way.
There's a couple, literally, don't be a dummy. Check out Goosebumps Monster Edition number 1. It's a real scream, and there's a little spot where you can write your name on. They wrote their name there.
And there's some practicing cursive in the back.
A lot of... Hey, you know what? Not bad on their last name.
Yeah, I was going to say, good job.
They did a pretty good job. Not
bad on their first name either.
Yeah, I was going to say they did alright.
The other one's just scribbles.
Yeah, they might just be scribbles.
As far as I can tell.
But, I just thought, oh, whatever, this is just a dumb book. Or this is just a, Monster Edition number 2. It's squeaky. The voice box thing doesn't work, unfortunately.
And it's been smashed to hell, too.
It really has.
Slappy's face is...
Yeah, his eyes have been, nearly, peeled off. I thought they were stabbed for a second. They were not stabbed.
I think it's just been crushed because of the voice box thingy.
Probably. And voice box is in the mouth, though.
But, see where you push, it kind of goes in that same area.
Yeah, I guess. But... I finally realized, like, I had this copy of this book for, like, 2, maybe, I'd say, like, 2, almost 3 years now, and I barely realized it's a signed copy. R.L. Stine's fucking signature is inside this book, and I did not realize, because I was just like, oh, that's just, it's a little defaced is all, this person...
Because again, there's squiggles everywhere.
There are literally squiggles and shit like this. No, this is a signed copy of Monster Edition number 2, and I'm just like... Oh, I got 2 random signed copies of R.L. Stine books in my apartment that I wish I had gotten him to sign, but I did not. Yeah, fun fact. One of them I bought for, like, kind of an absurd amount. Like, it was almost $20. Because I was just like, oh, this is kind of neat, because it's like an unfinished, not unfinished, but it's like a library copy or whatever.
Yeah.
Of a book. And then this one has R.L. Stine's fucking signature. I only paid $1 for this book. So, I just thought that was kind of funny. My journey into the center of Migger.
And then the other book is just the basic classic.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, there's my phone. I'm not drunk, but apparently I lost my phone already. So, Sam, I know you knew the ending to this one already, but what were your first impressions? Like, did you have any kind of impressions of the book?
I read the graphic novel version before.
That's right. Yeah,
so I can't really in that same.
So yeah, fair enough. I was about to say you don't get a pass on this one.
Yeah.
So nice. All right. Well, all right. Then let's talk about the cover of the original version. The cover that started so many nightmares for kids in the 90s, including myself. I don't know what is with this cover. It's really kind of just your standard cover. It's just Slappy, staring at you with these cold green eyes, staring into your soul with childhood paralyzation. It doesn't work anymore, hon. You got creepy green eyes, but that ain't shit, you dummy.
I can scare Noelia with it.
Yes, you can. But yeah, what is up with this? Like, I don't know what it was about this cover, but it scared me as a kid. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the oh my god, just how...
Unsettling.
Unsettling, thank you. Just his look of,
It's that...
I'm voiced by Wolverine!
It's also slightly Uncanny Valley-ish.
Yeah.
Of, it's close to human, but it doesn't hit that threshold of looking human-like.
Maybe.
It's in that nebulous gray zone, I think, also. With, especially how detailed the eyes are.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. I don't understand why, as kids, we were afraid of Slappy. I don't know. I was terrified of him. I mean, you get a pass because you didn't read or watch the show. Yeah. It was a show that scared the crap out of me.
Honestly, I understand that more, because from the book, I'm like, really?
Yeah. I know, right? There's a very unsettling moment in the book. One of my favorite moments.
Oh, there is. Yeah. There was a part that was, making me kind of panic, legit, but...
I think it's different. I think what mine was is different from yours. I know which one you're talking about, and we'll get there. So, as always, we'll begin with the story. Guys, we had short time. I did not do a full recap. So, hey, thank you, Goosebumps Wiki, as always. If there's any problems, Spongy, I'm on your case.
See you in the DMs.
See you in the DMs, dicker.
Love you.
Lindy and Chris Powell are walking through their neighborhood. The two girls decide to inspect a house that is under construction. While searching through a garbage container near the house, Lindy finds a mysterious ventriloquist dummy and decides to call him Slappy. Lindy uses her dummy to gain popularity, and Chris quickly becomes jealous, since some of the neighborhood kids seem to love her ventriloquism. Lindy decides to start using Slappy for children's acts and birthday parties. Lindy and Chris's parents ask the two girls to share the dummy. However, when Chris tries to take Slappy from Lindy, Slappy hits Chris in the face.
Also, one thing I will say that I do kind of get, because there's a huge, as you pointed out,
yeah,
part of the big theme is kind of that trying to find your own identity, especially as a twin.
Yeah.
Because...
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of, there's a lot of identity code in this.
Yeah. The next morning, Mr. Powell reveals that he has bought a ventriloquist dummy for Chris from a pawn shop. She decides to call him Mr. Wood.
Terrible name.
Yeah,
Terrible
awful.
Name.
This was the first sign of why Chris should not be a ventriloquist.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Berman.
It's also, she's not very funny.
That too. Mrs. Berman, Chris's music teacher, asked her to perform a ventriloquist act for the school's upcoming spring concert. Lindy offers to help Chris improve her act, but Mr. Wood is currently being held by Lindy, begins hurling insults at Chris. Chris assumes that Lindy is the one speaking, but Lindy insists she isn't controlling the dummy. And, like, brings her to tears.
Yeah, like, legit. There's a lot of tears had in this book.
Like, it was like one of those, what the fuck?
Yeah, poor Chris.
Yeah. That night, Lindy and Chris hear strange noises coming from inside their house. When they go to investigate, they find Mr. Wood strangling Slappy. What we all want to do, honestly. Doing the Lord's work. When the sisters tell their mother what happened...
So you're gonna get a lot of love from one side of the Goosebumps camp, and a lot of hate from the other side of the Goosebumps camp.
Okay. I've got like 100 followers. I'm never on Twitter. I don't fucking care.
You hear that, folks? Fuck you.
I didn't say
That's
that.
her words.
I didn't fucking say that.
Her words.
Their words. So, when the sisters tell their mother what happened, Mrs. Powell doesn't believe them and tells the girls to go to bed. And I was gonna say...
She's so tired of these kids.
She's like, I'm so sick of your shit.
I'm so sick of you fucking twin asses.
Should've got rid of one of you. Parent trap y'all asses.
Wrong twin died.
Wrong triplet died. Chris continues to hear noises coming from the kitchen throughout the night. Chris ventures into the kitchen and sees Mr. Wood lying near the refrigerator with the food all around him. Before Chris and Lindy can clean everything up, Mrs. Powell goes downstairs and sees the disarray. Both girls try to convince their mother that Mr. Wood is responsible for the mess, but Mrs. Powell threatens to take Slappy and Mr. Wood away if the girls keep insisting that Mr. Wood is alive. And I will tell you, I'll come back to this, because there's a lot of things in that I want to put a pin in.
Yeah, okay. While the girls clean up the mess, Lindy reveals to Chris that she is the one who has been doing all these horrible things.
There it is. That's the thing that I... Because my thing is like, I get the scaring her.
Yeah.
Like,
the making the mess in the kitchen was a little too far, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, because you just ruined fucking food for everybody.
Yep.
It's not just your sister at that point.
You ruined it for the family, like, and, I mean, at least she did say, hey, you can take it from our allowances. She should have been like, take my freaking, what's it called, money from the birthdays. Because that's what's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Not your fucking little ass allowances.
I mean, it's the 90s, where $20 went a lot further than it does now.
Yep.
So, $20 might have covered...
25.
Yeah.
She got the extra.
But yeah, my point stands, though, if it could have at least... It went a lot farther than it does now.
Yeah. Lindy was tired of Chris being a copycat, so she decided to pull this big prank on Chris. She mocks Chris for buying it. Chris is infuriated, but doesn't tell their mom about this, as they have been banned from talking about the dummies. A couple of days later, Chris finds a small card in Mr. Wood's pocket that reads, Karu, Mari, Odana, Loma, Molanu, Kurango.
Oh god, Grogu's looking at us now. You made him come alive. It's your fault.
I made him come.
He is a child.
He's a 6-year-old old fuck.
That's a child and fucking... whatever the fuck that Yoda species is.
They're called Yodas.
They just grow into Yodas. They all just become
Yodels. After reading the card out loud, Chris thinks she sees Mr. Wood blink.
That night, the Powell's elderly neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, come to visit them.
I love that they look identical to each other.
Yeah, they're like the old couple that just start to look like each other after too long.
Yeah.
Lindy and Chris's parents ask that their daughters perform a ventriloquist act for their neighbors. Lindy decides to go first, and hers is a success. Before Chris can perform her act, Mr. Wood begins to insult the elderly couple, making fun of their appearances and their breath. Because of this, Chris is grounded.
I love that they are like, and their breath.
Yep. Chris is grounded, but still allowed to attend the school spring concert the following day. At the concert, while Mrs. Berman is adjusting a microphone for Chris, Mr. Wood begins to insult the teacher for being overweight.
Like a douche.
Yeah.
Hey, fatty.
Mrs. Berman demands an apology, but Mr. Wood responds by spewing a green substance on the teacher and the audience.
It's puke. It's just puke.
Like Exorcist-style puke.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bergman tells Chris that she'll be suspended from school for this, possibly for life. So just expel him, basically.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just say expel.
For life. I'm like, I just imagine her, like, at 40 just standing out the school, like, out the window of the school.
Right.
Like, sad violin playing.
Mr. Powell announces he will return the dummy to the pawn shop on Monday. Chris locks Mr. Wood in the closet and goes to sleep. Chris is awakened by the sound of footsteps. When Chris decides to investigate, she discovers that Mr. Wood is alive. Mr. Wood tells her that she and Lindy are now his slaves, and that the magic words brought him to life. Chris brings up the Emancipation Proclamation, and he says, I don't listen to hip-hop. That's a joke song from South Park, so...
He just said, the South shall rise again.
Oh my god, Slappy is in a gray suit. The shine rise again.
He's just missing the hat.
The accessories always get lost.
Yeah, I was gonna say the hat always gets lost. Like, that's always the first thing to go.
Yeah.
That's the real curse, is it's not what he's fucking made out of. It's not, like, the fucking spell. It's that he's fucking racist.
Yep. Chris tries to fight the dummy, but Mr. Wood hits her fiercely in the stomach. Chris crawls away from Mr. Wood and screams for help. Yeah, Lindy hears her sister and goes downstairs to find out what has happened. While Chris tells her sister that the dummy is alive, Mr. Wood surprises the girls. Lindy manages to pin the dummy to the ground and keep him from fleeing. When the girls' parents arrive, Mr. Wood stops moving. Lindy and Chris try to explain what has happened, but their parents refuse to believe the girls.
Shut the fuck up about the dummy.
If we hear one more thing about the dummies, they're going in the wood chipper. Yes! Good! Do it!
Okay, let's talk more about the dummies. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
What's Slappy's favorite fucking sandwich?
Peanut butter and jelly. It's what's inside there, I think, in the second book?
Gross.
Yeah. Don't correct me until we get there, okay, guys? I just don't remember. I know there was a sandwich inside his back in one of the books.
I repeat, either way, gross.
Mr. and Mrs. Powell begin to question Chris's mental well-being, suggesting that they should take her to a doctor. I believe this is the first time they're like, we might need to take you somewhere.
You might need, like, professional help.
Yeah. Which I'm like, good on RL. This feels appropriate.
I mean, to be fair, if, like, I had a kid going, the doll is attacking... Oh my god. The
What?
fucking Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 3. Doll's attacking, trying to kill me, and the toaster's being mean to me.
Yes, Sam, yes. As soon as the parents leave, Mr. Wood comes back to life, insisting that Lindy and Chris are his slaves. Then the Abraham Lincoln dummy's like, not on my watch.
And then the John Wilkes Booth dummy shoots him.
Ouch. My life.
The girls try to decapitate the dummy, but are unable to harm him. Next, the girls trap Mr. Wood in a suitcase and bury him in the backyard. Since they're exhausted, Lindy and Chris go to sleep. When the girls wake up the next morning, they discover that Mr. Wood has freed himself and is waiting for them. Lindy and Chris seek help, but their parents have gone out. To show how serious it is, Mr. Wood begins to choke Barky, the family dog.
Yeah!
That's the one that freaked me out.
Okay,
like,
the part that freaked me out was when he's back. He's just back in the freaking kitchen. Out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit! Like, yeah, the dog violence is scary, but like, how'd he get out?
I think they kind of allude to the, like, he somehow tricked the dog or something. I don't know.
No. That little ass dog digging it up?
I don't know, dogs can... I was gonna say, terriers are known for being,
Dogs
like...
do love trash. We're quoting the Treehouse of Horrors again. That's one of our favorites, honestly. Cloud
Yeah.
Without Pity.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that whole thing. There goes the last remaining shards of my heterosexuality.
Yep.
In an attempt to separate the two, the girls drag Mr. Wood and Barky outside. When Mr. Wood releases Barky, the girls chase the dummy into the path of a nearby steamroller being used for construction at the house next door. Mr. Wood dodges the first steamroller and tells them that both will be his slaves forever. He doesn't notice the second steamroller, however, and it crushes Mr. Wood. A mysterious green mist rises from the smashed dummy's body.
It's just poo gas.
The alarm driver of the steamroller rushes out thinking it was a kid he ran over.
He's like, I ran over a kid!
He's like,
my
oh
God!
shit! Oh shit! And then they're like, it's a dummy. And he's like, oh.
Like, he was still freaking out. He's like, oh my god, I killed a kid!
Yeah.
Like, it's happened before.
Hey, we don't know what he's done. This might not be his first name. First name he's gone through.
He's in union, he's okay.
But the kids assure him that it was nothing more than a dummy.
Lindy, Chris, and Barky return home. When the girls get to their room, they find Slappy waiting for them. Slappy asks if the other dummy is gone now. Do-do-do-do-do. Alright, Sam, what notes do you have for this one?
Lindy has a point of talking a lot of... So there's this point where basically when she's like, I want a dummy... When she goes, I want a dummy, Lindy's like, you've been talking shit about my dummy all fucking week.
Yeah, she's like been smack talking it and shit like that. But that's such like little, like, that's just a sibling thing of like, I don't want that. And then like as soon as they start getting popular or it seems cool, I kind of want it now.
Yeah, but I think that is a fair point though of like,
yeah,
actually...
she did not want it at first, but and she was all like, I want one too.
Also the shade the parents have of like being surprised at talent.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you both will.
Yeah.
Of like, please God, hopefully they'll get good because I can't stand any more of this, was the energy.
It's like, if they keep up with this shit and they're not good, oh god, this is gonna be a long time.
Honestly, fair to want something that's her own. Like, Lindy, as much of a bitch she is, that she is this whole time. I get that she wants to be her own person. Like, she doesn't want to just be one of the twins.
Yeah.
And, like, wanting to have some... Because she even, like, basically tells Chris, like, can't you just let me have this?
Right? It's like, can you please just stop?
But I also get Chris of, like, basically not wanting to get left out.
Yeah.
Of feeling like kind of being left behind and left out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very interesting takes.
Yeah.
Is that everything for you?
And then the dumbest thing I have...
What?
When they were holding hands... Like, oh, look, they're holding hands.
Kill.
Die. Yeah.
I know, if we did, what's it called?
Pairings.
That would definitely be my pairing, is the dummy episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Because, yeah, that was just what I thought. I was like, oh, they're holding hands.
Die.
Kill.
Die.
I was like, damn, I am Chris. Because there's a point where, like...
No, I'm Chris. Hello.
Where Lindy's, like, actually trying to give decent criticism, like, critique, but Chris isn't taking it well.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, Lindy could also be nicer about it.
Lindy definitely could be nicer about it.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things of, like, goddamn, Lindsay, what a bitch.
You mean Lindy?
Lindy. Yeah, I put Lindy. I've said Lindsay for some reason. And then 56, kids try to be reasonable, Mom. That's when they're like, hey, maybe we should do something about the dummy. And Mom's just like, shut the fuck up.
Can you blame the mom, though?
I can't blame... She was reading a Stephen King book.
Yes, I know. Oh, don't worry. I got into that, Sam. Oh, you didn't think I wouldn't take note of that and make a whole paragraph length description of which book she's reading? Oh, of course I did.
Yeah, I figured you would probably have noticed that, because I know your love for...
No, it's not even just that. I just want to bring up random shit like this. Alrighty, so time for the random popular culture references in this book. Coca-Cola, Betsy Johnson, Stephen King, and Bergen and McCarthy for a brief crossover with Disney movie muses.
Hey.
Yeah, because they were in, they're in one of the upcoming movies for us, Fun and Fancy Free. Is the ventriloquist and that dummy. Yep. So, fun fact. I find having twins as the Goose Kids this time around is one of the aspects about this book I really like. They don't get along like twins in other media and want their own identity, but find it hard when they're always competing for their own identity. I like them as Goose Kids. Those two dummies have better personalities than you two. Damn, Mom, that's cold.
That was a good one, though.
Also, Mrs. Powell is probably the best goose parent. She can keep up with the insults and is tired of her twins being fucking twins. Chapter 7, and the gaslighting begins. And Chapter 15, the confession that gaslighting is revealed, and ends here. Sam, do we have a gaslight count?
Yes. I may be off by one or two just because I have 6.
6, alright.
It might, again, give or take like 1.
Alright, I'll take it. I'll take 6, because it really wasn't that many. I mean, this is only a 130-something page book.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Lindy keeps mentioning a rap routine, so as always, I decided to see what rap song was a big hit at the time, and this is what I found.
Do you think Lindy would say that word?
I made sure to exclude ones with N-words and swears for the most part. If I had to go with my gut, I'd say she'd be singing the biggest rap song of that year, Whoomp, There It Is, by Tag Team, which would also work as a duet for a dummy in her.
Yeah.
You know, it is 2 people. And it came out the same month as this book. Yet again, Informer by Snow sneaks its white rapping face into this category as well. Or maybe Lindy wants her street cred and did Nothing But a G Thing. Or Fuck With Dre Day, aka Dre Day by Dr. Dre. Or maybe she'll party with some Hip Hop Hooray by Naughty by Nature. Maybe she wants to declare how her day was with It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Or just talked about her friend Mr. Wendell by Arrested Development. And those are the rap songs, I would assume. There were actually a lot, there are some really big ones that came out in September of this year, of 93. So, but I'm sad this book came out in May, so no dice.
Yep.
Gotta stick with what I got. Okay, Mom is reading a Stephen King book in this one. Let's take a guess as to what she's reading. So Mr. King didn't have any major novels released this year, but he did have a short story collection, but that wasn't out until after the events of this book, which I'm going to say were May of 1993, like when these books don't really count. I go with whatever time the book came out at.
Yeah.
So, the 2 books released before this were Gerald's Game and Dolores Claiborne, both in 92. But maybe she saw a movie adaptation recently and wanted to read the book. So her choices could be The Dark Half, or maybe she watched the TV miniseries on Tommyknockers and just wanted to read the book for some reason. Tommyknockers. I'll never not think of that Simpsons joke from Not It.
What was the one that... Was it the Lawnmower Man that had nothing... The movie has nothing to do with the...
Yeah, that one.
That didn't come out till, like, later, right?
I think that was 92, I think, but at the same time, I'm like, that was a short story, so that's why I'm not including it.
See, I just thought of the thing of her reading it and being like, the fuck does this have to do with that weird movie I saw?
Yeah, she's just reading Flowers for Algernon, and it's like, oh, this makes a lot more sense. Just a lot more cyberpunk now, okay. R.L. builds the atmosphere in this one, with some decent prose describing how the nighttime feels inside a child's room. Which child's room were you in, Mr. Stein?
Goddamn, Chris.
I didn't write that part, I just said that now. There's a part of me that knows how to improve this book. Instead of the twist ending with finding out Slappy was alive all along, we actually have Slappy alive throughout, but with little hints like it almost appeared as if Slappy was whispering to Lindy or something like that.
Or his eyes moved in a way that didn't seem like...
Yeah. I also feel like Lindy should have pulled all the pranks for Slappy, like he told her to, so that her sister would stop copying her. I feel like that would have been a good way to be like, oh, you want her to, not have Mr. Wood be the villain be the villain throughout, or not even throughout, till the end, but just have Slappy always be alive, but we find out in the last few chapters.
He's the puppet master all along.
Yeah. And like, he slipped that card into Mr. Wood's pocket and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, just little things like that would have been neat. Once the supernatural stuff starts up late in the book, that's when the book gets funny. Insulting the Millers always makes me laugh. Oh, and the puke. Beautiful. Is this the first time a parent said a child needs to see a doctor in the series? Hasn't Mr. Wood ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? Like I said earlier. I always forget about the violence towards Barky in this. Mr. Wood is cold-blooded. Or no-blooded. Yeah, waka waka. Alright, Sam. So on to the next category. What inspired the Stein?
So I was thinking about it, and I know it's not a puppet.
Yeah.
But child's play, in the way of evil doll, basically.
Fair enough.
Is my, first thought.
They're very close to each other, especially with the whole, but he's alive!
No, he's not. Just shut up. And then the doll's like,
Yeah. There's definitely a little bit of child's play inspiration.
I don't know that many more, puppet-specific stuff. So, yeah, that was the one that I could really pull out of my ass.
So, according to R.L. Stein's autobiography, It Came From Ohio, he got the idea for the first 3 Night of the Living Dummy books from reading The Adventures of Pinocchio when he was young. You know, just a bratty puppet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. According to the Goosebumps Official Collector's Caps book, another inspiration for the Night of the Living Dummy books came from when Stein was a child and would use his ventriloquist dummy to scare his brother.
I believe that.
I believe it as well. And yet another inspiration likely comes from the 1962 episode of The Twilight Zone entitled The Dummy, in which a ventriloquist dummy believes that his dummy is not only alive, but evil. However, nobody believes him due to his alcoholism. And there's also another one called Caesar and Me that also revolves around a man and a dummy. So, that one could also be slight inspiration as well. But people don't really tend to remember that one as well, because Caesar and Me is not as good as the dummy.
Ah.
Yeah. In all honesty, it's just okay. Alrighty, Sam. Time for the random questions section. Do you have any questions for this one?
Did you ever copy your brothers?
Not really. They liked weird things.
Fair enough.
We weren't close enough where I really wanted to copy them, you know? But at the same time, it's I would, if I could, I would have. But they were, doing things that were, past my age range kind of thing.
They're you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was kind of in that same boat where there were things I wanted to copy my sister on, but she was 11 years older than me. Yeah. And I remember saying I'm almost a teenager and I want a credit card in a car, and my mom thought that was the cutest shit and would bring it up every fucking time.
Aw, she wants her own credit card.
Bite you.
She wants her bat credit card. Bat credit card!
Then my sister told me credit cards are evil and was cutting up her credit card.
Yay.
She was right.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen a ventriloquist act before?
Not live.
Yeah.
I've seen one from one specific famous comedian that...
It's Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen at least a little bit of Jeff Dunham's work. I saw one of his performances before he got, like, really big. Like, back in, like, the early 2000s. And I was like, wow, this is pretty funny. And then, like, years later, I saw, like, him get, like, blowing up, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's cool. And then all the racism came.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember when it was just, like, Peanut and, like, Walter.
Yeah. And Jalapeno on a steak.
Yeah.
You know? Jose, there we go. Jose. Then there's Ahmed. Post 9/11, I don't miss thee. Oh, wait, we're living in it still.
It's still bad. Never mind.
So, have you ever used or wanted a dummy?
I was like, oh, that could be cool. And then I was like, I suck at this, of, like, not moving my mouth when I speak and making it sound clear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, would I really want to do this? No, I'm good. I kind of wanted it, but no.
Oh, no, look at me, I'm Chris.
Would you want one?
No. Oh, no, bitch. Oh, I can't say bitch. Just itch.
What about witch?
Nah, I mean, I've always wanted to be a Muppeteer, but not a puppeteer.
Yeah, Muppet.
But I feel like that's a lot different. You don't have to, you don't have to hold your voice or do anything like that or throw your voice and shit.
Yeah.
You use the Muppet as your performance.
Yeah.
Versus, like, who you're acting through versus who you're acting with.
Yeah, I'd much rather be a Muppeteer.
Yeah. Which dummy would you want, Mr. Wood or Slappy?
The wood chipper. I don't really, like...
Yeah, I wouldn't want either. But, okay, gun to the head. Which one are you choosing? One of them's holding a gun to your head.
Slappy has better brand name value, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, has not vomited.
I don't recall, because there are so many, like, dummy books, but I don't think he's ever puked, as far as I know. He's done gross things, but I don't think puking has ever been one of them. So
I'll stick with Slappy for the sake of...
He has shit his pants, and called people the N-word.
I mean, he also calls people slaves, so I'm not really surprised.
Yeah. Emancipation Proclamation, Slappy. Learn how to read it, bitch.
I don't like hip-hop.
I don't like hip-hop. Get about. Which sister are you, Sam? A Chris or a Lindy?
I already said this, I'm Chris.
Yeah, I'm very much a Lindy. Except I wouldn't say I'm mean about my criticism. I give constructive criticism.
Yeah, you're good about your criticism.
But I do like to gaslight, and I do like to pull little pranks.
Like, literally today, you were fucking gaslighting.
I don't know how you believed me. It was so dumb.
Because I was fucking tired, and I don't know. Sometimes animals know how to do shapes based off of, like, instincts.
I said wolverines are one of the few animals I can recognize a rhombus, because that's where their living situation
I felt like
is.
it was one of those, like, in that general shape, not necessarily, like, a perfect rhombus. Like, they wouldn't recognize it on a fucking map, but they know what their territory is, and it's rhombus-shaped.
They recognize what a rhombus is. So
fucking excuse me for thinking that I was just, like, filling in the blanks and giving you the benefit of a doubt.
Pigeons understand the word fuck.
I feel like they do, but not because of, like, a scientific reason, but they're pigeons.
Yeah, exactly. They're man-birds.
Based on vibes.
Yeah. Alright, Sam, time to rename the book. So, what are you gonna rename Night of the Living Dummy?
Double Dummies? I don't know. Sorry, I just can't, I can't.
Double D's.
Want to check out Double D? Double Dummies.
Double Dummies. Mine is The Wooden Nightmare.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yours is better. I will concede.
Okay, I won't put up the poll then. I was, trying to think of something. I was gonna go with, Mr. Wood's, Terror or something. Or Mr. Wood's, Wild Ride. But I was like, no, I can come up with something good that I can actually fit on a good, front cover. If not a title, that could be a good, slogan thing.
How to make friends and gaslight your sister.
Hey, there you go. Gaslight Express. Alright, Sam, what's your book report? What did you rate Night of the Living Dummy?
So, for as this Goosebumps book goes, for the early Goosebumps, I don't like it as much as some of the other ones. And I feel like some people will hate me for that.
No, I agree.
Well, I'm saying, internet people.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not as strong. Lindy just feels downright mean and not in a fun way. Because, with Say Cheese and Die, they'll give each other shit.
Yeah.
But it's all pretty equal.
Yeah.
They all give each other shit back and forth.
And even Sari, who was kind of, mean in Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, she's at least fucking cool.
Yeah. I don't think it's the strongest one of the early ones. It's not bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's readable.
It's very...
And the end does get pretty intense.
Yeah. Like, it gets pretty spooky there.
But
this might be one of the weaker of the first 10, honestly.
yeah. I give it 3 ventriloquist dummies holding hands out of 5.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, here's my book report. Honestly, this one is better than I remember. I didn't mind all the gaslighting this time around. Maybe because I remembered that it was there, throughout the book. Versus, my first time reading it is all being like, oh, there's this is gonna be the actual dummy, right? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I really like Lindy and Chris. They're both great goose kids in their own ways. Lindy being that perfect mean sibling and Chris is the perfect victim. Sadly, this one isn't scary until the last few chapters with Mr. Wood, and most of the time it's just him being obnoxious, being like, you're my slaves!
Yeah.
Suck my wood!
I also don't like the slave thing, it's weird.
It is weird. I feel like it's like that 90s sitcom of like, you're gonna be my slave!
But it just, the connotation, no.
Yeah, no.
Emancipation Proclamation.
I feel like kids would call each other slaves, though, kind of thing.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Serve my wood, bitch! What if that was his catchline? Mr. Wood's thing is, serve my wood, bitch! And he's just talking about getting polished.
Polish my wood, bitch.
Polish my wood, bitch! That's what this book needed, more swearing.
Just fucking bitch after everything, like I'm fucking Rick and Morty.
Yeah. But yeah, it just really isn't that scary. Though I will admit the morning where he's at the kitchen table, that legit always sends a chill down my spine. I thought that was a really creepy scene. While not a perfect book, I can see why R.L. really liked writing these ones since it let him make a real jerk-ass of a character with Mr. Wood / Slappy. And he loves his jerk-ass characters. I'm not a huge fan of the dummy books, but the first one is alright. I give it 3 green puke piles out of 5. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's the episode. As always, if you would like, you can join us on patreon.com/Drunken Book Club. We, as always, like to thank our patrons at the end of episodes, so shout out to Weiss, shout out to Trey. Thank you guys for the $1.
Woo!
Yeah, $1 a month, get your bonus episodes up early, so on and so forth. And Sam, what's the next book we're reading?
You said it was Girl Who Cried Monster.
Yes, that is correct. Girl Who Cried Monster is the next of the Goosebumps. But the next book we're actually reading for the next episode is going to be an adventure book. It's going to be that Mad Max style one that I found that I was like, I want to read a Mad Max book for the Mad Max movie coming out this year.
Ooh.
So, there we go.
Nice.
A little bit of RPG in there, so I don't know if it'll be an actual good book to read on the podcast, but we'll see.
We'll give it a try.
Yep. So stay tuned for that. Girl Who Cried Monster and all that jazz. Signing us off is My Baby Got Run Over by a Steamroller.
Beautiful.
Yep. I thought it'd be a good time for that one.
That is perfect for this, yeah.
Yep. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, dummy.